So my guest today is Rosie Mowat, who is a money coach with Rosebud Financial Wellbeing. Thank you so much, Rosie, for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
So you are at the moment training to become a financial planner. So it's not always the most visible profession, is it? So what made you decide to sort of take that route and to join the profession?
Well, my own journey with personal finance kind of started after I had my third child, and I felt quite I realised how many gaps I had and how I maybe could have done things differently. And that's what got me into financial coaching, because I realised a lot of what I'd learned growing up and the role models I'd had basically I had a scarcity mindset. And then once I got into doing that and I did my qualification in financial coaching and I established my own business, but I still had that itch about, would I like to do a bit more? So it was just someone's comment literally was, follow your curiosity. And she tagged me in a post on LinkedIn.
I like that.
And the rest, they say, is history. So that's literally what brought me to the qualification that I'm studying at the moment.
Brilliant. And so which qualification route are you pursuing and why did you choose that particular one?
So I am very fortunate to be part of the We Are Change programme through the Verve Foundation, and that they offer the CII route. So I'm doing the level 4 diploma through the CII.
Yeah. And how are you finding your qualifications so far?
Well, I'm on the brink of the RO3 personal taxation exam. So
that sounds horrendous to me.
Probably quite a pivotal point. Once I've done this, that's me halfway, and I consider it kind of more, because I think the first few months are tricky, just finding your feet and getting used to and getting used to what it involves. I've done a lot of studying in the past, and I've done a master's in behavioural science 2022 I did that, so I naively thought that I had it all covered and that the study would be all ticked off, but it's just a different way of studying, and my family's growing all the time, so I'm having to adapt to work around them and also run my own business. So yes, it's been a juggle.
You've got a lot on, yeah, absolutely. So on that basis, how long do you think it will take you to complete your qualifications?
So for me, I always had it in my mind that I'd like to do it in less than 2 years, but it's just a personal preference. I think it'll probably take me about 1 year and 9 months roughly. I think what's interesting is you can set time aside for things, but either life crops up or sometimes you're just not in the headspace. Like you're literally reading the same sentence over and over and thinking, I'm not taking this in.
It's not sinking in, yeah.
You really need to, I like to obviously be in the zone and actually feel like I'm really absorbing the information, not just doing it because I've told myself I'm going to do 2 hours study today, for example.
Of course, and it's nice that you've got that flexibility, that there isn't those sort of really set time frames that, like you say, you've got a lot going on in your life, haven't you, that you're able to kind of juggle that.
Yeah, definitely.
So what advice might you give to others that were maybe considering going down the financial planning route?
I've honestly met some really lovely fellow students. The community that as the We Are Change programme, everyone is so helpful and supportive. Funny as well. I think you've got to have a bit of fun in life.
Absolutely.
It's not all about serious, even though finance is serious, but it doesn't mean you've got to be all the time. I think being flexible, having a flexible attitude, being prepared to be wrong, that's definitely something that you have to just accept. Like, I don't know this and I'm going to learn it, and and I'm happy to take support and advice from others.
Yeah, no, that sounds great. And so what are your plans for the future?
Well, get through RO3, which hopefully is nearly done. And then hopefully by the end of the year, I'd like to have, so there's 2 more units that I've got to do. And then that's all the sort of the same format. And then the final exam is a different format. It's more of a case study format. And then I'll give myself kind of 4 months next year to do that. So I'm hoping by spring, I'll be finished.
Yeah, and then you've got your own business, obviously, so that's evolving that into financial planning.
That's still pretty new as well. So I would like to potentially feed, like one would feed the other, because I think the coaching element and the understanding the behaviour and helping clients to understand the behaviour that drives the decisions that they make, or the way in which they sort of show up around money and financial decision making. I think that's really key to it for me. So both of them like marry quite nicely.
really dovetail. And I think, you know, that's perhaps the way that financial planning is evolving quite a lot, is that financial coaching side and that behavioural science behind how people make financial decisions.
Mm-hmm.
That's really
Definitely.
interesting.
I find it fascinating anyway.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, thank you so much for talking to me today. That's been really interesting, and best of luck with all your exams.